Now we begin today in a sanctuary garden that really encapsulates a turbulent 18 months for us all. It's the Finding Our Way NHS tribute garden by designer Naomi Ferrett-Cohen. And it's a beautifully designed little space, a sunken garden, so you really feel as if you're in amongst it. This pergola is beautifully built. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I love the two seats either side where people can gather and talk to each other. It's a very sociable space, but you can hear water throughout this garden. The water starts by trickling down the outside of the pergola into a couple of pools, and then it runs down these gorgeous rills into this pool at the bottom, the elliptical pool, and the sound of it is just right. Water, when it's too loud, can be dominant in a small space like this, but it works beautifully. Then we've got the planting, a mixture of dahlias and nithophias and grasses, uplifting planting. And being a sociable space, you sort of want to feel energised by a garden, and it works absolutely beautifully. Well, this garden came about when Naomi joined forces with a friend from a very different walk of life, whose experience on the front line during the pandemic helped inform the design.
My name is John Frater, and I'm a professor of infectious diseases at the University of Oxford. My day job is to run a research group where we study new therapies for HIV and immune responses, so how one might make a vaccine. When COVID struck, I got a call to come and help and run one of the general COVID wards at the John Radcliffe Hospital up the road here in Oxford, and basically everyone came together within the NHS, you know, from the doctors to the nurses, pharmacists, porters, kitchen staff. And despite everything else that was going on and the horror of what we were seeing with COVID, by pulling together, we could get everyone through this. And in particular, I think that is kind of where the NHS is so amazing. There was a feeling that somehow we had to sort of recognise, mark what was going on. So back in 2018, we'd done a garden at Chelsea about HIV, and there'd been a really amazing response. The question was, could you do a garden about COVID? You know, the first person I wanted to talk to was Naomi.
So during the pandemic, I felt very privileged to be able to walk up here. We've got the South Downs here, and then you can see Brighton over here. In the midst of what was going on with coronavirus and family life, I was homeschooling and working. I get a phone call from John, and he's said to me, "Do you want to do a show garden?" And I said, "Well, yes." And then I said, "What would it be about?" And he said, "The coronavirus." And I thought, oh my goodness, this is a huge subject to be talking about. So yeah, let's talk a bit more and come up with some ideas. I'm really looking forward to see John. It's been a while since we've seen each other. We've had lots of Zoom meetings online. So to see him face to face will be really lovely.
Naomi, hi, how are you?
Hi, John. Great to see you. It's been ages, hasn't it?
It's been too long.
I know.
No, it's been a crazy year and a half, really, hasn't
It really has.
So this is the design for the Finding Our Way NHS tribute garden.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Let's hope you like it.
It looks incredible.
Oh, thank you. That first initial fear is represented in the... I've got the big structures, and it felt like you were sort of standing on the edge of like looking down on what was going on with coronavirus, and it was really quite scary for everybody.
I really love the pools and how they sort of link everything together.
Yeah, well, that's a representation of people coming together to try and help that one cause for the NHS. But also, we wanted the garden to feel like it was a relaxing space of time to reflect on what has happened.
And I think that's really important,
Yeah.
isn't it? This is crazy. It's like a jungle, Naomi.
I know, but it's great, isn't it?
It is great. So look, you know I'm completely clueless.
Yes.
Tell me, are these some of the plants we might be using in the garden?
Yeah, so we're here at Sussex Prairies. This is one of my local gardens that come to, and I brought you here so you can actually see some of the plants that we'll be using. We'll be using things like salvias because they bring
this
a
is
nice,
a salvia.
yeah, it's a lovely salvia. It brings lovely height. The mixture of the grasses the echinaceas and the asters all together. And that brings the soft tones that I was talking about. And they sort of sway in the wind. You see how soft it is. And it's just, that's the sort of feel that we're trying to create in Chelsea Garden. My hopes for Chelsea are that people will understand the message, they'll get to have a space where they can reflect, and that we actually bring a garden together that people enjoy.
This is a tribute garden to the NHS. The thousands and thousands of people, you know, from doctors and nurses, pharmacists, porters, kitchen staff, everyone who's come together in the last 18 months, you know, and given time and, you know, lives in some cases. I mean, this is really important, and it's made a huge impact on everybody. You know, if there's one message that comes out of this garden, it's that massive thank you to everyone who's worked in the NHS to kind of get us through what we've got through.
Naomi, congratulations. It's a beautiful garden. The visitors are looking at this garden, they're connecting with it, with the, you know, the story behind it, the reason why it's here.
Yeah.
Are you getting good feedback?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you know, everyone's just saying it feels like a sanctuary, and I think that's what I was trying to achieve. So that makes it really, really nice feeling, knowing that I have achieved it.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. It's just such a lovely garden to be in.
Yeah.
How was the build?
Well, we had a few technical issues. It's a complicated water feature, and I was pushing the boat out a little bit, and I knew I was doing that. So we had a few issues, but we overcome them, and, you know, we're here today.
Yeah, being an ex-landscaper, I can see it. I mean, but the water, it works so well. It's very complicated,
yeah.
But I love the way you planted around it and softened it. It feels as if it's just running through those borders nicely.
Yeah, and that was the plan. And also I wanted it to feel like the sound was really like trickling, not gushing water. So that was quite hard to achieve as well, you know.
Yeah. No, I think it's wonderful. Now, you got a silver medal. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. A bit like that.
Silver at Chelsea's great.
Yes, I know. I think, you know, we are always trying to, as designers, do better and do better. And I think, yeah.
I think people will be looking at this goal and think, why didn't it get a goal? But, you know, there's technicalities on the brief and the judges, and, you know, they look at every tiny little detail.
Yeah, I know.
But, I mean, the overriding feeling I get is just, it's a fabulous garden. But it's also going to live on, isn't it?
Yeah, so the hard landscaping is going to Wexham Park Hospital, and all the soft landscaping, all the plants are going to Catherine House Hospice in Oxford. So, yeah, that's lovely. You know, such a nice thing to know that it's got a life after
life
here.
after Chelsea.
Yeah, and it brings even more meaning to the whole garden, really.
Well done, congratulations.
Thank you.